Hey guys, welcome back to another very interesting video of VK. This video is actually a tutorial of the Adobe Lightroom Photoshop application. It is actually a very professional application that is available for Android phones, with the help of which you can make your photos look far better. Just go to the Google Play Store and type Adobe Lightroom. Adobe Lightroom CC or Adobe Lightroom is the application. It is around 65 MB and you can see this ratings and other things have been mentioned on the Google Play Store homepage of this application. Just hit on install and wait until the application gets installed on your phone. Once the application is successfully installed, just open the application on your phone. This is the boot animation of the app itself. Once you enter the application, there are a few things like amazing photos. It mentions these are just the steps like a tutorial. You can anyways skip these steps, and once you enter, you have to obviously create an Adobe account. If you already have an Adobe account, you can obviously sign in like me, or you can easily sign up using the Gmail ID. Next, once you have done, this is the home screen of the app itself. Using the plus icon, you can import the photographs from your gallery to this app. These are the photographs that I have imported for editing purposes. First, I'll select this photograph and I'll start with the tutorial itself. Well, let's wait until the photo imports successfully. Yeah, we have successfully imported the photo that needs to be edited. These are the few things that again mentions like should I give you a guided tour, etc. Anyways, you can skip these things because I'll explain everything in detail. Well, the first option is this light option where you can change the exposure, highlights, the shadows, blacks, the contrast, etc. I am using this exposure tool. You can long press on the photo to check how the photo was there before editing and how it is there after the editing process. I am using this highlights tool in order to make sure it looks more sharp and the highlights are more enhanced. And there is this whites and blacks tool. Obviously these whites and blacks tool helps in making your photos whites and the blacks that is present in the photos look more richer and more enhanced in color. These are the few options which are basically self-explanatory, and you can easily play around with those options and make your photo look more professional. This is the crop and rotate tool, with the help of which you can obviously crop, but there is no manual crop. This is the exceptional healing and this is the selective adjustments for which you will have to be paying some amount of money and upgrading. And there is this option of presets or predefined color gradients that is present, and this is the most brilliant part of this application, guys. There are a lot of predefined color gradients or color options that is present, and you can easily play around with these filters and make your photos look more professional. I'm using the slider tool below in order to check out what are the different types of filters or color gradients that is present in this Lightroom application. There are a lot of color gradients like vintage, modern, black and white, artistic, basic, colorful, etc. And as you guys can see, these are the options that are present, and there are around 30 to 40 different color gradients. This is the lever with the help of which you can adjust the amount of filter or amount of color gradient that has to be applied on the original photograph. You can anyways adjust to what level you feel you want the color gradient to be applied on the photo. Now, once you have done with these photographs, you can zoom in to check how much amount of detail has been retained even after putting all those color gradients. These are the different options like show histogram and show info, and different types of options like save to device and export, etc. This is an auto option with the help of which it obviously automatically enhances the photographs, and I will slightly play around with some shadow to make the photo a little bit more professional, and I'll also play around with some RGB curves with the help of which I can adjust the colors on the photo. Depending upon whichever image you are editing, you have to adjust the RGB curves. It actually changes the amount of red, green and blue color highlights that is present in the whole image. So use this tool with more caution. And now, once we have done with all these complete editings, we'll check all the editing options that we wanted in this overall image is set properly or not. And this is the option with the help of which you can directly share the image to different social media platforms. But right now I don't want to share it, but I have to save this photo to the device. So just hit on save it and save it at the highest available quality. and it takes some time depending upon what phone you are using. Once it has been saved successfully, you can go ahead and check the edited photo on your gallery. Now we'll check out some other few photos and edit them, or the same process that I used for editing the previous images. I'll check out this temple image and I'll make sure I use some different color presets or some different color gradients, because this is an outdoor image or it was taken on broad daylight. Previously we had used the artistic 4 preset or color gradient. This time we'll use some other different artistic color gradient because this was a daylight photograph, and let's see whether we can play around with black and white or not. No, but I will have to choose this. I guess this looks quite good, and the details are also retained even after putting the color gradient. Now what we'll do is we'll play around with some exposure, the contrast, the shadows, and many other things like the blacks and the whites, and we'll come back once the editing of this photo has successfully been completed. This temple image was edited successfully using a different color gradient, and it is getting exported to the gallery of our device. Now what we'll do is we'll select a selfie photograph and we'll check out how the editing can be done and how the photo will be made more professional using the Adobe Lightroom application. So we have successfully edited the selfie photograph. Now we'll take a look at the image of the sea and try to edit using some different color gradients. One thing you guys have to note down is all these photographs were shot on the Pixel camera application on the OnePlus 6 smartphone, and by default we shot all these images in RAW, and hence all the details were maintained. In post-processing or using this Adobe Lightroom application, I'm using a lot of color gradients and making the image look more enhanced, and hence the output images that you get will also be dependent on which phone you're shooting the images with. But make sure you shoot the images in RAW because a lot of detail would be maintained. Now we'll check what are the options that is present in the preferences of this application. There is this enable auto add, there is this sharing options, and what I found really cool is there is this option of adding watermark to the images, which we found really cool. So what I decided is I'll remove this default watermark and I'll put the watermark of my startup. So I have put Versatile Knowledge Media Group, and every time I edit a photograph with this application, I can easily share this photograph on Instagram with the watermark. And also there is this cool option of customizing the watermark to what font, what text color, and what size you want the watermark to be applied on the images. If you guys want the watermark to be applied on each images, and if you want your original creation or original images to be copyright protected, I would suggest you guys to turn on this watermark options from the settings right after you download application and before you start editing the photographs. Since I had not previously turned on the watermark option from the preferences, I went back to each edited image that was saved in the drafts, and I saved each image again back to my gallery to make sure the watermark is successfully applied on each image that I edited now, because I want these images to be copyright protected because this is my original creation. Once we have successfully saved all the edited images onto our gallery with the watermark, we'll go ahead to our gallery and we'll check out how the edited images have come out. That's it for this quick tutorial on the Adobe Lightroom application, guys. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content ahead. Thank you for watching, guys.